Hey, so my passenger is going to be filming this, but I just want to talk you through what's happening tonight with my Audi A4. It's dark, so the picture's probably going to be pretty miserable, which is fine. It's mostly audio based. So I've just driven, I don't know, the first 50 miles of a 300-mile trip that I'm making tonight, and the oil pressure warning light has popped on, and I've pulled over and popped the hood, and well, first check the levels. It's fine, but if anything, it's slightly over, which is cause for concern for other reasons. But the biggest problem with the oil visually is that it's pretty much just black slime. So it doesn't look good on the dipstick, and opening the filler cap as well, also not pretty. There's nothing golden brown about that stuff, unfortunately. So whether it's a case that sludge has somehow blocked the pickup, or the pump is not working, or maybe the sensor is just broken, which is a lot less likely. Frankly, this is a 200,000 mile car with very limited service history, and clearly the oil has not been done recently. So I'm at the side of the road with, the oil pressure light on, and I've just spent quite a bit of money on the car when I bought it. This is an eBay special, by the way. When I bought it, the auxiliary belt snapped, so it just had a new water pump aux belt, and that cost quite a bit. So yeah, side of the road, oil pressure light is on. The oil in the engine is clearly not good. I did a quick Google of the symptoms to get as much information as I could to make a educated decision. This is perhaps not the most ostensibly educated decision that I've ever made, but everyone on the forums is like, you don't want to be driving a car with your oil pressure light on. That will destroy your engine. But the alternative to just driving it and seeing if it will get to my destination, which is where I have another car, so I can just drop this one off and forget about it for the time being. The alternative is pulling up at the side of the road, calling, AA, get them to drag me either back to my parents' house or off to a local garage. But there's no point going to the garage, because chances are they're going to tell me that there might be £400-500 worth of repairs, including diagnosis, which can be a bit of a pain for this particular issue, as I understand it. So in light of, I'm not in a rush, so that wouldn't have been a problem from like a time perspective. I'm not in a hurry tonight. It's 1 a.m. and I don't have anywhere to be until midday tomorrow, so I could hypothetically have taken it to a garage and it wouldn't significantly impact my income or social life, whatever. But anyway, what I decided to do is just get back on the road, keep it under low load, low revs as far as possible. I'm not going to be doing over 55, which is about 2,000 revs on this engine. It's a 1.9 TDI. So I'm gonna, either see how far I can get before the engine just explodes, or I'm gonna, roll into Derby and wonder what all the fuss was about. As you can see, the engine light, oil warning light is still on. Been on this whole time. Occasionally it's been popping off, but has popped back on within a couple of seconds, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't think it going off is because oil pressure has suddenly come back. So I'm not sure why that would be. You know what, maybe if anything, the oil pressure light going on and off is pointing more to it being a sensor problem. It's possible that because the oil is so crap that it's just sludged up the sensor, making it very difficult to get a read. I mean, that's hugely optimistic. But, you know, I've been going for about half an hour since the light first came on. I haven't noticed any terrifying sounds. I've turned the stereo off now, so there's no fantastic music on in the background, which is okay. I mean, music's fine if you're pretty bored, but if you've got plenty to be thinking about, then sometimes silence or listening for problems is maybe preferable. So I'm gonna keep you updated. We're gonna find out how far an Audi A4 can go once the oil pressure light has come on. It will be, you know, useful information potentially. Whatever happens now, either previous information and experience will prove correct, and this is a really... so now the light has just gone off. It'll be back on in a few seconds. You'll see it pop back up. Anyway, so this is either going to be interesting because it's going to defy the conventional wisdom, which is that if you don't stop and get the problem checked out straight away, then you're going to lose an engine. Okay, see, so it's back now. Or it's going to, I don't know, it's going to raise some questions about the information that was previously accepted. Personally, I know which one I hope is the case, but I'm not overly optimistic. I mean, ask me again in 200 miles and I'll tell you what's going on. Lights off again. And it's back on. So, I've got no idea what's going to happen. I'll keep you posted. As it stands, it looks like it's just going to be popping on and off for a while. If anything changes, I'll pop this back on. Or in about 50 miles, if nothing's changed, again, I'll pop it on an update. Either way, I hope you're as interested as I am, because this is strange. Alright, wish me luck. Hey, okay, so another update. About 5 minutes after I turned off the camera last time and stopped recording, my passenger did, the light went off again and has been off now for about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. I've been keeping it less than 2k on the tack and 55 miles an hour. So I've got no idea what's going on. All that I did when I pulled up and had a look, in terms of something that could have actually made a difference, positive or negative, was I added maybe half a pint of clean oil, fully synthetic, which is not necessarily what's recommended for this engine. It may have been the wrong viscosity as well, but I figured, you know, it's probably better than nothing, which was the alternative. I had the ability to, I think as I mentioned in the previous recording, I could have taken the drain plug out and emptied the bad oil, but I didn't have more than 2 litres to put back in, or anything to do with all the oil that would have come out. So doing like a bodged oil change wasn't really an option, which meant all I could really do is just add a little bit. I don't know what I was hoping that would achieve. I guess that no idea. I don't know. In some way, it would dilute the bad oil, I guess, is all I could say. Whether or not that's what's happened, but I'm not even sure how that would make a difference. I mean, so if you're watching this and you're a bit smarter than I am, maybe you're a mechanic and you know like what's actually happened here, then please feel free to tell me, because I'm absolutely stumped, and I'm sure I still will be until someone, you know, highlights the obvious that I'm missing. But it seems like, to me, and I stress this heavily, like I've got no idea what I'm doing. when it comes to cars, or engines at least. But it seems like putting the new good oil has perhaps broken something down or improved some sort of, I don't know, flow properties, or it's maybe cleaned the sensor off a little bit, or just removed enough of the sludge that it could get a pressure reading rather than there wasn't just zero, or subpar, or it could just be a function of my driving far more carefully and conservatively. I mean, I wasn't thrashing it earlier, but I was definitely going above 55 and 2000 revs, so I don't know how much difference that would have made as well. I mean, in terms of changes to oil pressure, that shouldn't really matter, right? I don't know. Either way, the light is still off, so I'm just gonna keep going and see what happens, and I'll report back. If it's still off by the time I'm almost at my destination, then I'm gonna give it an Italian tune-up and see if it comes back on and it jumps out of the bonnet. It's just started to rain, so I mean, I hope I don't have to pull up again. There'll be a bit of a drag, especially with no engine. But as I said, the light's off at the moment, so I'm not going to say I'm feeling pretty good about it, because I'm not really, because I'm still very suspicious of this car, and it definitely does need an oil change regardless of what happens tonight. So I've got to find a space and the equipment to do that at some point. But that's okay. I mean, that's a detail. That's assuming that I'm lucky enough to make it back tonight. So we'll see what happens, and once again, I'll keep you posted. Hey, so it's about 2 hours later. The engine had time to totally cool down. Just started it up. I've been driving fine. No problems. Again, gentle driving, but yeah, still no oil light. No idea, don't know what to tell you, but still going strong. Okay, so another, I don't know, half an hour of driving, about, 40 miles or something. No, a bit less than that, 20 miles. Lights pop back on. Oh, it's just gone off again. I'm sure it'll be back in a sec. Not totally out of the woods then. Not hugely surprising. I don't know. So certainly no issues are fixed, which is fine. I didn't think that anything had magically been properly cured. But it's good that it's made it this far, and it looks like I'm gonna get to my destination, which is good, because I was having some serious doubts when this horrible light popped on. In terms of moral of the story, I'm not gonna, even if I get there, I'm not gonna tell you that you should just keep driving with the oil light. It seems like it's always going to be a judgment call based on your circumstances. If you're lucky enough to be driving a car that is worth far, far less than any costs to the engine, then it might be worth just risking it and then trying to pick up the pieces later. In terms of whatever an engine flush oil change, which I'm hopefully going to do later today, and then I'll see if the light still pops on then. Otherwise, it's probably worth playing it safe. If you're driving, a relatively new car and you get an unexpected warning light, then it's probably worth checking out. But in this one, there's so many points of failure. Trying to diagnose it would be a potential nightmare, I think. So I don't know. Yeah, so the light popped on. It's now gone off. I'm going to be back in about half an hour. No sweat. All the other temps are fine. Oil's sitting just above 60. I mean, apparently. Who knows what the oil's doing. Maybe there's just nothing there. Coolant's 90. Whatever. Pretty normal. Alright, so I'll let you know when I get back, just to confirm that the operation was a success. But otherwise, it's looking pretty promising. Hey, okay, so I've just stopped off, put some diesel in, and I picked up a bottle of oil treatment stuff. I'm not really sure what I'm expecting it to do or have done. It was already way above the max level on the dipstick, and I just emptied a whole bottle in there as well of the oil treatment stuff, not more oil. And the light's still off. I just had it up to 3,000 and pulling onto the dual carriageway here. I mean, again, still not sure what's going to happen. If anything, maybe nothing. Maybe it's going to be a serious problem down the line. But I do have another choice to make now. So, as I've reached my first destination and my other car is here, I've got about 200 miles of onward travel to do, and this vehicle is far more economical on fuel than the other one. So, do I want to risk it and take this one forward, or trade it in for a safer, more expensive bet? At the moment, I'm leaning towards just running this one until it stops, for whatever reason. Especially since there's not really any time constraints on me at the moment, so I don't know, we'll see. But yep, to summarise, oil light came on, put slightly more synthetic oil in on top of the existing dirty oil. Came on and off sporadically, stayed off for a period, and has now been off for, I don't know, the last half an hour's worth of driving. Came on briefly, but no major breakdowns as of yet, which is what you'd expect the immediate outcome to be, given the alarmism on the forums. We'll keep you updated, but at the moment, it's a happy looking dash.